Annyeonghaseyo! Welcome to this episode of This Might Sound Foreign. Again. I was about to say it across the board.
Well, to be fair, it's hard to forget when the logo is right there.
Oh, are we doing this? Are we actually doing this now?
What?
Are you trying to make me feel like I'm dumb or something?
Yes.
Okay, so we are.
So it's been exactly. It's been a while
Okay.
that we haven't had drama and we didn't fight physically. So I thought maybe today's the episode so we can get views. You know, you pull my hair, I pull your hijab. Just a basic.
You see, guys, she's not doing this for the right reasons.
No, not at all.
However, I actually advocate for all migrant communities, but she clearly has a different
I'm
motive.
doing it for the drama, the tea, the gossip.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Anyway, let's do it again.
Okay.
Annyeonghaseyo! Welcome to this episode of This Might Sound Foreign, brought to you by Across the Border CIC.
In today's episode, we have a lot of drama, a lot of gossip, a lot of very important topics that we want to tackle that's going to hurt someone's ego. It's going to hurt a lot of people's ego, a lot of people's perceived notion of what's right and what's wrong.
Okay, guys, I did not really plan this episode, so I'm actually not sure what Mace is getting
Exactly. It's 100% me. It's curated by me. It's 100% representation of how good as a person I am. So firstly, I would like to have a brief moment of silence for Sudan because it lost in the games, the football games.
Oh my God.
Guys, I don't care about football, but when certain countries play, I feel like my nationalism, gets triggered. I'm not Sudanese, but it's just, like Sudan is different. Like to me, it's like a different, it's like my second home that I've never been to, just because my mother's from Sudan. But anyways, so
it was a huge loss.
I had a lot of hope. First they fought with South Sudan, and I was like, how ironic. And then they fought with Madagascar.
We were doing really good, actually.
Very good. Very impressively good. And I don't understand anything about football, but I've heard it was good. People were saying it was good, so I'm assuming. Oh my God, I honestly, I cried on that day when I saw the video of the football players. They were kneeling and crying on the grass. Honestly, broke my heart. I never knew football could be this emotional, but goddamn. I felt so we lost y'all. Yeah.
Do you think Sudan will ever play in the World Cup?
Oh yeah. We just need a bit, I think when it comes to other countries, what they get to do is they have the resources, right? Unfortunately, our countries, first of all, it's so impressive that you guys made it this far, considering the war and everything like that.
Yeah.
Especially because I'm assuming no money is going into the football league and stuff like that. It's probably if there was if there was a lot of financial help going into it, why not? A lot of they're hardworking people. They've gone this far. Everything considered, honestly, that's the most impressive, But it's just for us as an ethnic, maybe society, we don't value, if money comes into the country, right? If the GDP are where are we gonna put the money? Football is the bottom. Where are we gonna consider?
Of course, we have priorities.
There's priorities. So that's the first thing on the agenda. And then close by, some news from neighboring country, Egypt. Shereen Abdulwahab, she went back to her husband. God damn it!
I didn't even know she was married.
No, she's married to this dude. Long story short, short story long. She's married to this dude. I don't think he was her first husband. I'm not sure if her children are from him. I'm assuming not. She has kids from a previous marriage. Not sure, but I'm pretty sure she was married beforehand. Anyway, she got married to him. He was her manager at some point. He's very abusive, financially abusive. He's also we don't know the ins and outs because she never came out and spoke about it, but we can tell that she's been very through a lot of things, and she keeps on breaking up with him, going back to him, keep breaking up with him, going back to him.
One of those people.
She literally recently, after not dropping a lot of songs, new albums or anything like that, came up with a single. It's called Batman and Sak, which is I wish to forget you, and 2 weeks later, she's in his arms. And I was like, you should have wished harder.
It
But
really does highlight that some people do have that effect on you.
Yeah.
Like, they can grip you like this, and you can tell yourself, you can keep telling your brain, I am not going back. But it's easier said than done.
100%. And the thing is, like, what's so funny is, like, subhanAllah, she got back to him one day. I promise you, 2 days later, she's in the hospital. They said that she had, like, some sort of medical thing. We don't know if he's physically abusive. We've never seen her in bruises. I don't remember, at least. But, what is it called? But, like, we always knew that, like, mentally speaking, like, even to the point, like, weed is not legalized at all in any of the Arab countries, or like even probably like North Africa, or like the Middle East in general. Like, it's not legalized at all. Like, for us, weed is drugs. If you have weed on you, that, or you smoke weed, that's the same level as like you having drug possession or being like on drugs. So also he got her into like smoking weed, and obviously, like, say whatever you want about weed, but when it's illegal in a country, you're doing something illegal, right?
I mean, sometimes mental, emotional, financial abuse, that can transition into physical.
Yeah.
They don't have to physically abuse you for you to, you know, get physically ill, or like have, you know, physical issues, or you know.
100%.
So abuse is very different, and the way people cope with that is it's very different from one person to another.
Yeah, because a lot of people right now, her family are what they're trying to do. I mean, it's not confirmed. Like, obviously, it's all rumors. But what they're trying to do is her brother. They're trying to like try and have the government intervene and do something about it, because like it's out of their control. Like, technically speaking, she's a grown woman. She never showed any signs of her being dependent or like not mentally there at any point, right? Like, she's a famous singer. Like, she's always been fine until like recently everything has escalated. So it feels like her family is just like begging her to leave him. I mean, for the sake of her daughters in the end of the day, but. And then there's also
How long have they been together?
Quite a while. Like, them breaking up and going back together. Like, I think there was even a year ago or something that they broke up for a long time. But she just keeps on coming back. Like, it's just like it's a Shereen thing. Like, I mean, like, yeah, everyone be like, oh, this is the last time. It's never the last time.
I think maybe in the future, because there will be a point when it's like enough is enough.
Yeah.
And I don't know, maybe he must have like obviously he crossed so many red lines, but to her, maybe it's like, oh, that's it, that's her limit.
Yeah.
And maybe down the line, she might come out with a documentary or something and like expose exactly what's been happening. The thing with celebrities is like, you really don't know what's happening.
That's the thing. It's
like,
because
even if the media portrays something as a certain way, it's not always true.
Yeah, and the thing is about celebrities is because, I mean, her family spoke out, right? Like, I'm talking about her family as in, like, her mom, her brothers. I don't know about her mom, but, like, her brothers, basically, her siblings. They spoke out about, like, oh, you know, like, she needs help. Even her lawyer recently spoke out, and he was basically asking the government, not the government, was it called, the Ministry of Arts or whatever, because she would fall under it as a singer, to intervene. Like, I remember, like, 2 years ago, what happened is, because she was high, which obviously to us is very bad, so what they had to do is like forcefully take her into rehab. Yeah, and I was like outside of her husband's control. Like, I don't know if it was her husband, her siblings, anything like that, but a lot of people as well are thinking, they're talking about, like, it hasn't been spoken about. You know how Whitney, the famous talk host show, how because of like her dementia, she's under, what is it called? Not censorship. You know what is it called when your family? Britney was under it as well, when your family takes control of your autonomy.
Oh, I know what you mean.
So basically, they were saying that Shereen should go under conversationship, just like Britney and Whitney. And then, but the thing is, logically speaking, since she is still technically married to Hissam,
his name is Hissam?
Yeah. He would be the legal. But, yeah, but he would be the legal, like, sort of like...
guardian
I don't want to say owner, but, like, in a way, because it is ownership in a way, like, legally speaking, like, when they do that, like, they...
All the responsibilities would fall on him, basically.
Yeah, like, I remember watching Britney, she said, like, she wasn't even to get pregnant. She was not even allowed to get pregnant. So, like, in a way, like, it's a disgusting ownership.
Control.
Yeah. So they were saying that, like, that should happen, but then people were like, yeah, but then the most reasonable person who would be in line of her guardianship is basically Hussam, and that's just redundant because her siblings are asking for this to happen. They want to take guardianship of her, and then they will be able to like help her. But then with that being said, Shereen is very rich. She's very famous. For us, it's just like, if I had to describe her, like her music and the lyrics and like the songs that she produced, probably Adele. Like, you know, that demographic.
I think
age
she's
group.
the Taylor Swift of the Arab world.
Really? But Taylor Swift is pop. Shireen is more like...
but in terms of popularity and in the Arab world, how people speak of Shireen is similar to how in the Western world people speak of Taylor Swift and her influence.
But Shireen's audience is older than Taylor's audience.
It doesn't really matter. Who else is like Taylor? Which artist?
Nancy Ajram.
You think Nancy Ajram is
Nancy Ajram
Taylor?
right now is more and more popular now.
I think Nancy Ajram is the Rihanna.
She's producing like very TikTok songs, very pop songs, and yeah.
Fair enough. I mean, you know more of the Arabic.
I'm losing it. Trust me.
Are you?
I'm trying to find it. I'm finding it. But yeah, so that's like that. So prayers to Shireen. Second bit on the news. Okay, guys. So I was listening to. I listen to a lot of podcasts, but I don't stick with a lot of podcasts, right? Probably YouTuber with that.
You're not loyal.
No, but not only that, because some of them they piss me off. Like they upset me a lot because, for example, I'll tell you a sentence that I heard in a podcast that I started watching. The first episode was okay. It was a bit annoying because it was like those kind of podcasts where it's not about the experience of the person. It's not like someone would come and be like tell you their experience. It's like the person who sits here and like who read a book. And then they start telling you quotes from that book, and all of a sudden they like the motivational speakers, the motivational coach. Nothing pisses me off more than that. It's like for me, it's like no. But anyway, so I was listening to this podcast, and she said that the way I shut it down, the way I shut that podcast down, it was crazy. This is what she said. She said, "Don't love your job, job your love."
That's from a book.
No, she said that on the podcast. Like
don't love your job, job your love.
Yeah.
What does that even mean?
And then people in the comments were like they were taking it like, don't mind your business, business your mind.
No, guys, honestly, now people are just doing stuff for the sake of it.
Yeah.
There are so many more podcasts now, like since COVID.
Yeah.
The amount of podcasters, everyone is a podcaster. We're not hating, but
We're not
what
hating
does that mean?
because look at what we have in our hands. We can't hate. We join.
Also, we don't make sense either.
No,
but
100%.
our podcast vibe is very different. So you will definitely stick around.
100%. Our podcast vibe, the way that I see it is that don't listen to our advice. As a matter of fact, please don't listen. Like, our advice is there. Take it or leave it. But most likely, just leave it. Just listen to it. Maybe agree on the fact that you can agree. You can agree with us, and the three of us could still be wrong. Like, that's the point of this podcast. It's like we can agree, but we can agree to the fact that, like, most likely we're still wrong. We still don't know what the hell we're talking about. But I don't like the podcast where like they make it seem like they've got everything figured out, and I'm like, if you've got everything figured out, why do you have a podcast? Go.
Can I be honest?
Yeah.
I just digested what she said. I kind of understand her. Am I crazy? No, think about it. So don't love your job. Because obviously you're not living to work. You're working to live.
Okay.
Right? So what she's saying is that don't be obsessed with the working system.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Job your love. So work on the love and the affection around the world and the friends that you have and the family and the community you're with.
Yeah.
So make that your priority and your job or your work to focus on, because oftentimes that's neglected.
Okay.
See, guys.
No. But can I be honest? I can sit here. I'm gonna chat something out of my, and then I can still make you make sense of it.
Okay.
You know, like I can say something like this, and if you deep any sentence in the world,
it will make sense.
It would make sense.
Yeah.
And for me, it's just like I also like think that podcasts they should be a little bit more lighthearted than like if I wanted to read something or something like that. Oh, he's so sick of us. I would go and read a book. Why would I what is it called? Why would I like listen to people like I don't know, for me it's just like anything that you deep is gonna be like for example, this person, like they were basically making fun of her, and then he said like, "Don't mind your business, business your mind," right? We can sit here.
Yeah.
We can definitely make something out of it.
Don't mind your business.
Yeah.
Business your mind. Like, you know, make your brain work.
Yeah.
But yeah, we can make sense of everything.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But it's a nonsensical thing that until yesterday, a person who was trolling someone else said this. It was nothing. It was not a saying, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, it goes to show, like, even for example, like old sayings in Arabic or old sayings in any language. I bet you they made no sense at that point either. So it's just like a love-hate relationship. The moment I hear anyone who's trying to be philosophical, and then they're trying to show stuff like that, I'm not interested. I'm just not interested. I don't know. I don't know. Do you
How many podcasts did you sift through?
A lot. Like I'm also the kind of person that I don't see why I should, what is it called? I don't see why I should stick to one podcast. If, for example, someone does an interview with a book author that I'm very interested in, I don't have to go and watch all of the episodes, the previous episodes. I don't have this kind of loyalty at all.
Yeah.
So yeah. But yeah, what about you? Do you like these kind of serious podcasts?
I listen to quite a few podcasts, but I do have like 2 or 3 that I continuously go back to.
Okay.
I don't know if I should like, you know, give them a
plug.
Yeah.
Okay. How about give them enough context, like about like what they do? Maybe they will.
Actually, I will plug one. I really love The Receipts. The Receipts podcast. Well, I used to. And I really hope that some people used to listen to it as well. But when they were a full pack, if you know what I mean, it was really nice. I really liked it. I liked the different opinions that all 3 of them had and so on and so forth. But it was really nice, you know, and I loved the way they segmented and split how the podcasts are. Like, you know, they had like a dilemma section. They had like a, you know, tweet section. They had like fun gossip here and there. And I think it was really nice. And I feel like even from their name, like it was very intriguing, very catchy. So yeah, I would say, honestly, The Receipts was really good. I am falling off a little with them, not gonna lie, because everything changed.
People-wise or like ideology-wise?
Yeah, you know, someone left.
Okay. On a good or bad terms?
There was drama about it.
Most of the podcasts that I listen to are crime ones. So, not crime ones. Actually, I'm lying. Like, for example, I don't know, like, what's her name? Stephanie Sue. She does multiple podcasts. But the thing I like about Stephanie Sue is when she does podcasts, like for example, she has the crime one, but there's also like the ones about like very famous thing that happened, or like very like, you know, social things that happen across the world, not just like in America, not just in the UK. A lot of the time people are more centered around like where they live, because I mean it makes sense, but I just like the idea of the fact that, for example, she sometimes would get like celebrity gossip about like Korean actresses, celebrity gossip about like a Chinese actor, a celebrity gossip about like this Indian celebrity who was killed and people deemed it as suicide, but like so I really like that fact, because as a person, I don't see myself as belonging in the UK. Like I wouldn't be able to tell you that I know everything about the UK, or like the artists in the UK, or let's say, you know, like musicians, rappers. I don't know everybody who, for example, like the way that even in the Arab world right now, the new ones who are coming up, I have no idea who they are. And so I just like basically the very famous ones from every single country. Like I really liked, for example, there's this Egyptian guy. He does also like crime ones, but also he does them around North Africa and then the Middle East, like the Arab region in general. And
I think I know who you're talking about.
He's an older gentleman.
I saw him on TikTok. And is it like the ambience is like a like dark, gloomy, like a bit? Yeah, I like it.
He has glasses.
I can't remember.
So there's
but he was like a middle-aged guy.
So there's multiples. There's 2 of them. One of them is young Egyptian. One of them is old Egyptian. The young one, he always stands up and his angle is like always from the top. And then there's a Khaliji one as well. He always does like when I say Khaliji, but there's a Khaliji one as well that he does podcasts. Also nice. But again, specific to that region, specific to the Gulf and North Africa. Arab-speaking countries. I know people get really pissed like when people say like, oh, this place is not the Arab region, this place is not the Arab region. I'm like, can you leave me alone? I don't know. For me, I'm going to be completely honest with you. When I was in Syria, this is how we learned what the Arab region is, the Arab Spring, whatever the Arab region is. It's basically the Middle East, North Africa, including Mauritania, Somalia, and the entirety of Sudan, including South Sudan. It's like they called it like the Wahid al-Qarn, which is what is it called? The rhino. The rhino that only has one thing, and then the shape of it looks like that. So that's how basically, like, when geography books, they used to be like, oh, this is how you know this is the Arab region. It looks like a rhino, and that for example, the leg is Somalia, like Sudan and Masr are like basically the chest area, and then the Maghreb al-Arabi is, and then including Mauritania is like the back of it, and then the face is like the Gulf area and the Levant area. So yeah. That's how I learned it. That's how I went in life, because that's how, it was enforced in our system of like learning. People disagree. People are like, oh, Somali people don't want to be part of the Arab world. But then Somali people who speak Arabic, they want to be part of the Arab world. I'm like, listen, whatever you want. Honestly, like, I'm not for it. I'm not against it. I use it how I learned it in the books.
Or let's talk about the fact that Sudan is not considered North Africa, but also it's not considered East Africa, but also it's not considered part of the Middle East, but also they're not considered African. Sudan is put in, because on the map it's located in such a weird way where it's like it's directly on the northeast of Africa, and obviously we are an Arab-speaking country, therefore we do speak Arab, right? Arabic, but somehow we're too African for the Arabs, and we're too Arab for the Africans. Yeah. So it's such a weird way, and I totally get it. Like, I 100% get it.
But I think, what's so funny? Like, sometimes I get, like, a little bit frustrated because a lot of people are taking in context of what being Arab means. Sometimes, like, in two different directions, both of them are extreme. So some people look at it from the perspective of, like, you being Arab, that means what's in your DNA, what you ethnically are. And in that case, neither Mawadda or me are that. Because, yes, the Levant area was taken by the Arab, colonized. Like, they was taken by the Arab for 400 years. Sudan, probably the same thing. But ethnically speaking, if we're going to go back to the DNA, are we Arabs? Probably, like, we're not, like, it's just genetically speaking, I'm from the Levant, we're not genetically Arabs because beforehand we were so much more like than that, and
technically Caucasian, like, from the mountain of Caucasus,
like,
if we want to be
if we want to get very technical, but sometimes Arab is just an identity, by the way. We speak that with the Arabic language. We what is it called? Our culture is very similar to what Arabs are. Like, we drink the food, we eat. Like we drink the food, we drink the drinks, we eat the food, the Arab food. Like, for example, all of us have hummus or falafel, right? That's something that Arabs are like in their culture. Sure, some of us call it ta'miyya, some of it call it hummus falafel. But in the end of the day, that's something that's in the culture. But a lot of people are like and then people are on the other side. Like, every time you call them Arab, it's like you've insulted them. And I'm like, how about the middle? Like, some people is like, oh, being Arab is like the highest level of respect, that not everyone is deserving of it. You're not, I'm not, because, we're not pure Arabs, whatever that is. Even right now, if we're going to consider the Arab identity, is like, what's the percentage of people who are 100% pure Arabs from their grandparents? Like, for example, let's say the purest Arabs are in Saudi Arabia. What's the percentage of people that are 100% pure Saudis?
People are not going to love that. They're going to say
ages.
The pure Arabs are Yemeni. Yeah. And, people love to pick and choose about the technicalities of things, like you said. So
exactly. And it's just like they make it a hostile thing. And then, for example, you go to the Maghreb al-Arabi. And when I said Maghreb al-Arabi, it's not just... It's not the Arab side of it. It's not just like Morocco. It's Morocco, Algeria, Tunis. That's why we call it Maghreb al-Arabi. If we go back there, they'd be like, oh, well, we're not Arabs. And if you call them Arab, they'd be like, well, we're Amazigh. And I'm like, do you speak Amazighi? Like, it's some people, but the thing is, like, it's not like I'm happy for you to be Amazigh, please. Like, I'm not gonna force any identity on anybody. But sometimes it's like the defensiveness of it. I'm like, is it ever that serious?
Yeah.
And even people who are like, for example, from Syria, some of them, they don't identify as Arabs because obviously some of them are Kurdish. Some of them are, let's say, Assyrian. Some of them are like
Turkish.
Turkish, but like that's a bit easier because like being Turkish is because there's a physical place called Turkey at the moment.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. But for them, Kurdish people, there's not a physical space at the moment as we stand. It's called Kurdistan. There's Kurdistan Iraq, but it's not the big Kurdistan that the Kurdish people identify with as their land. And then also the Assyrians. The Assyrians were the people that were in Syria before the Ottoman Empire. So that's even before the Arabs. So that's like, we're talking thousands of years ago. And I'm like, for me, it's just like, sometimes I'm like, how did you guys figure that out? Like, how did someone figure out that they were Assyrian? Like, if I tomorrow, as a Syrian person, I want to figure out, like, I'm Assyrian, how do I figure that out? So that's why I'm like, I say, like, the Arab identity is such a complex thing, but at the same time, it's not that serious. It's not that serious. Like, why do we have to gatekeep it? Like, for example, Modda, if someone comes to you and be like, oh, Modda, like, since you're from Sudan, you speak Arabic, and stuff like that. And someone be like, oh, inti Arabiya. Do you feel offended?
See, that's the thing. Like, I personally wouldn't, because I agree that Sudan does belong in the region of like the Middle East and North Africa and the Arab region. But not every Sudanese person's mindset is like that.
Yeah.
Because we are quote unquote othered.
Yeah.
From like the perspective of other actual Arab countries.
Yeah, because you're the only country who has the majority of you guys are black.
Because we look different.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's not to say that there aren't white Sudanese people. Like, obviously, the thing about Sudan, we're very mixed. We're a very mixed population where you find the people who are really dark-skinned.
Yeah.
You find the people who are very fair-skinned. You find the people who have straight hair, who have curly hair, who have, I don't know, Afrocentric features, who have white passing features. There's like a mix of whoever you want to find, you will find in Sudan. And the thing that makes it very complicated is, obviously, the reason why we're like this is because it goes back to history. It goes back way back, you know? And that's one of the reasons why Sudan now is like a majority Islamic population. It's one of the reasons why Sudan is, has lots of mixed people. And that all transcribes to like the history of Sudan. And it's really complicated because some people, they go like, okay, I still consider myself pure African. And some people, they go like, well, I'm, Afro-Arab. Some people are like, no, I'm just fully Arab, even though my country's in Africa. But it's very different. But for me personally, I feel like we're both African and Arab. And I think it's really complicated, mainly from like the perspective of the way Sudan is located on the map. So for example, when someone asks me, oh, are you North African? Or, are you from East or West? I'm like, technically it's Northeast. But if I say East, some people might have an issue with that. If I say North, some people might have an issue with that. So it's like, it's really tough for me to say.
Is it ever that serious?
It's not,
In the end of the day, if you say it's North, is being from North Africa a golden ticket that no one is allowed to be from? And if you say that you're from the East, is being from the East another like platinum ticket that no one is allowed to be from? Sometimes I think like, yes, having your identity and asking people to respect your identity is very important. Please, like honestly, like hold on to your identity. That's not something I'm suggesting they shouldn't do. But gatekeeping an identity, a nationality, gatekeeping being Arab, gatekeeping not being Arab enough, is so silly. And it's like in 2025, you would think like everyone is trying to be politically correct, and I get that. But at the same time, it's like, if someone comes to me and be like, I would rather you not refer to me as Arab, I want to be referred to as Amazighi, I want to be referred to as Afriqi, like African, that's fine.
Yeah, you can
I'll refer
respect
to you
that,
like
yeah.
that. But because I am wired and our history has trained me to be like, oh, Mawadda is like, for example, or she's like, I, for example, just Mawadda is Arabiya. And then Mawadda comes and unleash on me in a very aggressive way because I've said that. Then I'm gonna have a problem with it, because is it ever that serious? Some people are so like, I'm all for you being for identity and fighting for it and wanting to be a certain someone, but I think it's also fair to understand that my history books have told me a different story than your history books, and your lived experience is different than my lived experience, and therefore it shapes the way that I see the world. Like, I've seen a lot of people, for example, from, just like you said, the Sudanese people, they want to be referred to as only Africans, but then they only want to be referred to as only Arabs, or a mix of between. As a person who is not a Sudanese person, and I want to refer to someone who's Sudanese with some, which one do I choose? If I choose this and then there's that kind of person, they get offended. Like, you know what I mean?
You can't please everyone.
You can't.
And I think what you can do is, obviously, you can try and subjectify, I don't know if that's a word, but you can try and personalize the belongingness depending on who you speak to. So, for example, if you're speaking with me, obviously I'm fine with you referring to me as Arab or African, because I truly think we're both. But, you know, if the next Sudanese person is like, I am purely African, I do not associate with the Arab world. In fact, the Arab world is one of the reasons why Sudan is like this or something. You know, they have their reservations, and, you know, they come up to you and they're like, I don't like the fact that you're calling me or referring to me as Arab. Please do refer to me as African.
Yeah.
And if I was in your position, I would just respect that, because the same way it's not serious for them to, you know, acknowledge that they're also Arab is the same reason why it's not serious for you to just respect what they're saying.
True.
So I 100% agree with you.
Yeah.
And I also agree with the fact that, you know, you're just gonna be like, fair enough, and you'll respect it.
But sometimes it's hard to keep up when
course it
there's
is.
multiple identities. I feel like, I mean, like, I'll respect you if you're my close friend. Like, for example, if Mawadda is a kind of, she was like, Mace, moving forward, I just want to be identified as an African woman.
Yeah.
That's fine. I'm seeing Mawadda every other day, right? I'm going to have to, like, it's going to be ingrained in my head. But if I meet someone, a stranger, and they tell me this, and then 2 weeks, 3 weeks later, be like, I refer to them because just in my head, like, so these people are Arab, and that's how I see it in my head. And I have Mawadda as my close friend who's a Sudanese Arab African woman that she identifies like that. And then I automatically, that's my default, right? And then 3 weeks later, she comes back to me, and then I refer to her like as an Arab African woman. And then she gets upset, she gets offended. The thing is, I think a lot of people are forgetting to practice tolerance.
Yeah.
I think that 100%, I'm not saying that you shouldn't, honestly, like, I always, for example, a lot of the time, people misspell my name, right? Like, it's not kind of the same thing, but, you know, your name is part of your identity. My name is not spelled in the English way. So a lot of people misspell it. Sometimes they'd be like M-A-C-Y. Sometimes it's M-E-Y-Y-S. So it's like they misspell it. I, as a person who understands that my name is not spelled in an English way, I built tolerance over time that I genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, don't care how you pronounce my name, how you spell it. As long as I know you are calling me, as long as I know you're addressing me, and so I can respond or I can speak to you, no, you can, as a matter of fact, you don't even have to spell it with an M, you can spell it with a W. I don't care. I just don't have this kind of attachment. I know identity is a bit more complex than just like the spelling of your name, but
no, I understand.
With a complex word, can we like a bit of tolerance? You know what I mean?
I understand the message you're trying to portray, and I think obviously it is tolerance, and I think people need to be understanding of one another.
Yeah.
And they do need to have patience. So obviously it's the delivery of things. So if that one person is like, I want to be identified as purely African, and I don't know, maybe once or twice here and there you slip up and you identify them as Arab, for example, it's not right for them to start, you know, being aggressive towards you or give you like a cold shoulder, because that's not fair.
Yeah.
Especially if this is not someone that you see on the day-to-day, on your day-to-day life. So 100%, I think tolerance should be practiced, and, you know, patience and understanding, and, you know, that kind of like communication needs to be there. So it's definitely on the delivery of things. Like if someone comes to you in a harsh way and they're like, oh, how dare you do this? And obviously you're not going to have that, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Regardless of whether or not they're right, it's in their delivery.
Yeah.
So I 100% understand what you mean. And in terms of the name as well, like, I 100% get you.
Yeah.
And I personally, it's not that I don't care about people mispronouncing my name.
Yeah.
It's just that I understand that I have a fairly unique name,
Yeah.
in comparison to all the names out there.
Yeah.
But it's not to say that I don't sometimes correct people.
Yeah.
So if it's a one-off thing, I could care less if they mispronounce it. But if it's like someone that I'm seeing at work every day, or, you know, someone who is going to, I don't know, let's say I'm graduating and, you know, that person's on there trying to announce my name.
Yeah.
I want my name to be correct. I don't care about that. Like, I want my name to be correct. I don't care who you are. And I feel like there are people like that. There are people who are like, you know, it's their identity, like
Yeah.
you said, you know, they hold their name so dearly to their heart, and it
Yeah.
probably means a lot to them.
Yeah.
And it's really important for other people
To respect
to
that.
say it correctly. Like,
Yeah.
if it's really annoying, because especially in the Western world, when people try and act stupid whenever like someone of like an ethnic minority origin says their name or tries to, you know, teach you how to pronounce their name, and all of a sudden, you know, people just try and act stupid, and they're like, and it's like, bro, you can literally say the most complicated names out there, but all of a sudden you're struggling with this person.
Yeah.
Like,
Sometimes it
there are
feels
some-
vicious. To be fair, you can tell when it's
Yeah.
like it's intentional.
yeah,
Yeah.
like even like there are some like ethnic names that are like, they're foreign, obviously they're unique,
Yeah.
but they're not hard.
Yeah.
Like, for example, like Roshan, right? Roshan is an Indian name.
Yeah.
Or, you know, a name that's used a lot in like the south of
Yeah.
Asia. Roshan. But all of a sudden, you would hear people go like Rashan, Roshan, and it's like, bro, it's Roshan. And people would correct them and they'd still get it wrong.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, but you can say Natasha correctly. You don't say Natasha.
Yeah.
You can say, I don't know, what other name is really popular? Amanda.
Amanda.
Or like, I don't know, you know, people are very familiar with
Emily.
that. Yeah, like, I don't go around mispronouncing things even though it's not that hard.
Yeah.
And Roshan is like literally a 2-syllable name.
Yeah.
And you're having an issue with it.
Because they don't put effort into it.
Exactly. They don't really care. Like,
Yeah.
you can say Arnold Schwarzenegger so easily.
Yeah.
But you can't say Mace correctly.
Yeah.
You can't say
To be fair,
Mawadda.
I personally cannot say anything correctly. So
No, but when you go like, oh, my name is Mace,
yeah.
people sometimes get it wrong.
Yeah, they do. All the time.
Yeah,
All the
even
time.
though your name is literally 1 syllable.
Yeah.
How?
Yeah.
Like, and we're not talking about people who are, you know, reading the name out, or people who are like, we're talking about people who, let's say you've met at work.
Yeah.
You've corrected them already. Not once, not twice, a few times, and they're still getting it wrong. I find a problem with that, personally.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, like, there are certain circumstances where people it could be a genuine thing that for example, they're bad with names. Maybe even English is not their first language, right? Like,
Yeah.
as in like, even if it's an English pronunciation of a certain name, it's gonna be hard for them to pronounce, and it could be that because English is not their first language, there's certain letters that they're not able to pronounce, right? Like, I know how, like, it's a funny thing, but like how people who speak English as a first language, they can't say the
Yeah, but-
that letter Ain, for example.
Yeah. But your name is Mace. I remember,
Yeah.
I think you corrected someone once at work. I think when we were working at,
Yeah.
you know, the clinic.
Yeah.
And I think you corrected them, and they were like, and they said it. They said it correctly. They were like, oh, Mace.
Yeah.
And it was so weird. They still got it wrong.
Yeah.
Like, and I do understand, like, sometimes you forget, you know, sometimes, you know, but it's that effort that counts.
Yeah.
And I don't appreciate when people go like, oh, can I just call you this?